we at TrueCaller launched It's Not Okay campaign.
Part 1 of Network 18 and TrueCaller's Women's Day special Streamathon witnessed policymakers, law enforcers, social activists, mental health experts and influencers stand united in the fight against harassment faced by women, echoing the need to call it out because it's not okay.
Now, let's listen in to women talk about the issue of safety and their awareness about the recourse available if they encounter harassment. This is what some women told us.
छोटा मोटा harassment तो होता है.
कॉलर तो एक नंबर से कॉल करेगा, एक नंबर ब्लॉक किया वो दूसरे नंबर से कॉल करेगा.
I do get some inappropriate messages.
I did face harassment over a call. So there was this guy who called me over 25 times in the span of like 20 minutes only.
Sometimes I do get some inappropriate messages, and so I just go and check, cross-check the number on TrueCaller, and since if I don't know the person, I'll just block and report the number.
वैसे तो मैं यहाँ 20 साल से हूँ और ये छोटा मोटा harassment तो होता है. पहले ज़्यादा होता था, अब थोड़ा कम होता है. अब लड़कों के अंदर भी अवेयरनेस हो गया कि अगर हम कुछ करते हैं तो पुलिस डंडा चलाएगी.
So there is a women helpline number, but I don't have it as top of my mind to call. Actually, we all should know it, but for some reason, I don't know the number.
Like sometimes I'm scared to go out in the evening and to pick up random phone calls. Now I don't even pick up calls from random numbers just because I was harassed. It leaves a mark on you. So it's definitely very important to raise your voice.
मेरे पास में कॉल्स आए थे. ये कुछ 3 से 4 साल पहले की बात है. तो उस टाइम पे मैंने इमीडिएटली नंबर देखा एंड मैंने उस नंबर को जो है TrueCaller पे चेक करने के बाद में उसको ब्लॉक कर दिया वहाँ पे इमीडिएटली, सो दैट मुझे फिर से कॉल्स जो है वो रिसीव ना हो उस नंबर से. कॉलर तो एक नंबर से कॉल करेगा, एक नंबर ब्लॉक किया वो दूसरे नंबर से कॉल करेगा. पहले अगर आपके पास में सबसे पहले कॉल आती है ब्लॉक कीजिए, लेकिन अगर आपको लगता है कि कोई पर्सन आपको रिपीटेड कॉल्स कर रहा है, बार बार मल्टीपल कॉल्स आ रही है, उसको ब्लॉक करने के साथ साथ में उसको रिपोर्ट करना जरूरी है.
So my blocking is actually affecting somebody else also, because that person will not stop over there. So when I report a case, that stops that person, that account is blocked, or it is creating an impact. So it's very important to report cases.
And joining us is a very special guest, Special Commissioner of Delhi Police, Shalini Singh. Thank you so much for joining us, Shalini ji. What are the immediate steps any woman or girl can take to report harassment as soon as she faces it?
So Delhi Police has taken a number of initiatives. The main one being that there is a helpline 1091 for women. There's another one 1096 for harassment. So please call up these helplines if you ever need any help. Don't suffer in silence. It's not okay. Call it out.
Shalini ji, a lot of women hesitate in calling helplines or even going to the police. Many are afraid to call these helplines because they fear they might get exposed to public shaming or face some uncomfortable questions. So can you help us clarify how these helplines work and what is to be expected when we call them?
See, whenever a woman calls up the women helpline or the anti-stalking helpline, the calls are usually attended by women officers who are in the control room. There is a special anti-stalking unit also in the control rooms. They at once respond, they listen to their problem, and then they direct the nearest PCR call if it's a physical stalker. Otherwise, if it is an online stalking, then it is immediately transferred to the cybercrime police stations. You must be aware that Delhi Police has recently opened 15 cybercrime police stations, one in each district. So the call goes to them. And immediately there is also in each police station also there is a cell for handling such kind of complaints where women are there who handle it, and there is no need to be hesitant or scared because these people have been trained to deal with these complaints sensitively. So please do not hesitate, please call it out.
Shalini ji, thank you very much for joining us on this special broadcast. You've indeed made it very special. Now, the fight against harassment has to be a collaborative effort where women feel safe in reporting harassment, and strict action must be taken against perpetrators as well.
And Shreya, we should call out every instance of harassment. Joining us now is a social media star, RJ Mahvash. Mahvash, thank you so much. You are very active on social media and it certainly is a great medium to connect and engage with the audience. But it comes with its own challenges. Have you faced any harassment online and how did you tackle it?
So hi Maria. Yeah, personally, as far as I am concerned, people have taken this to another level. So it's like I have faced it all, like rape threats, murder threats, and people getting as brutal as telling me that they'll rape me and feed my body to dogs and in front of so many people. And it's like it's very embarrassing and insulting, and it takes a huge mental toll as well. So when it comes to how do I tackle it? First, you're never supposed to reply to these abusers. All they need is attention. So what I avoid is I don't reply to them first. Second, I tell it always to a trusted person. Whoever I trust, I go and tell them. Thirdly, what you can do is always be ready to take the legal action. So for that, you need the evidence. Always take the screenshot. You should block that person and you should keep the evidence ready in case you need to take the legal action. So that's how I tackle it.
And Mahvash, of course, there is phone harassment. Have you encountered any sort of harassment over the phone in terms of maybe receiving uncomfortable calls or messages? And could you tell us what you did?
I remember one time that there was this serious creepy stalker who was there, and he used to call me at with different numbers. I blocked so many numbers and stuff like that. So what I did was I took the help from Women's Helpline. There is something called Women's Cell, which is 24/7 available. They're always available 24/7, and they come faster than the police. So yeah, this is one way to handle it.
Mahvash, I also think it's time for men to act like responsible allies and to call out this harassment. What do you think can lead to a mindset change?
I think educating in itself can lead to mindset change, and we need to educate men more about like how to behave when you're in front of a woman, how to behave, how to respect them, how to, and we should show them examples also.
Thank you, Mahvash, for joining our movement. Call it out because it's not okay.
It's certainly not okay. Being a target of harassment can be absolutely catastrophic for one's mental health and personal well-being. Let's hear about the impact it can have from leading psychiatrist Dr. Anjali Chhabria. Dr. Chhabria, good to have you on the show. Thank you very much. First of all, please give us an insight into the impact that both phone-based, online and offline harassment can have on women of all age groups, not just young women, but older women as well.
So when a woman is being harassed, there are a lot of thoughts that go through her mind. The immediate thoughts are that, what is happening? Am I imagining it? Is this real? And what did I do to deserve this? There may be a lot of emotions. There could be anger, there could be sadness, there could be recall of past harassment that comes into her mind. And she can also be thinking about how to take this further, whether she should just, withdraw into a shell, whether she should share with anyone, or whether she should, get angry and react at the situation. But end of it all, she does feel harassed, and each person handles this differently, but definitely it leaves an impact on her emotional health and also her physical health.
Ma'am, a lot of women don't want to talk about harassment. They feel uncomfortable discussing it. How important, according to you, it is for women to open up so that they understand the psychological impact it has had on them?
It's very important to open up when you're being harassed, because when somebody is being harassed, they think they are the only ones. But when you open up and start talking about it, you realize that you are not alone. If you're being harassed at the workplace and you discuss this with a senior, you may be surprised to know that there are other people who've been harassed before by the same person. And that makes you feel that yes, you're not alone, it's not your fault. And it also, when you share either with even people at home and they support you, it gives you a sense of confidence. It does not leave lasting emotional scars. Sometimes it may be difficult to share with your loved ones or people at work, and that is when we encourage people to go to a mental health professional and share with them.
Dr. Chhabria, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast, and thank you very much for your insights.
And viewers, if you face harassment of any kind through any medium, please call it out. to report harassment, Shreya, and we have been telling all our viewers the number that is there on your television screens. Dial 112 or 181 or log on to cybercrime.gov.in.
That's right, and you can learn how to tackle harassment by taking the TrueCyberSafe curriculum on itsnotok.in. So let's empower ourselves with the right knowledge and the courage, more importantly, to call out harassment.
मेरे को ना पर्सनली अपनी ऑनलाइन में डीपी लगाना सबसे ज़्यादा खतरनाक लगता है। मेरी एक दोस्त है, उसने डीपी लगाई थी और क्या हुआ कि कुछ 2-3 दिन बाद एक कोई रैंडम अकाउंट था और उसने उसकी डीपी अपने अकाउंट पे लगा ली और फिर उसके बाद अपने मतलब उसकी डीपी लगा के पूरा पब्लिसाइज कर रहा है कि मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड है, ये वो है, ऐसे करके मतलब कर दिया था उसके साथ।
When I was in 11th and 10th class, actually, when I even started my online social media classes, then मेरे को उस वक्त मैसेजेस आते थे एंड वो लोग जब यंग लड़कियां होती हैं ना उनको ज़्यादा मैसेजेस करते हैं कि ये लोग तो कुछ भी नहीं कहेंगे, कुछ भी नहीं कर पाएंगे। फिर वो लोग इतने गंदे गंदे मैसेजेस करते थे ना, हैरेसमेंट करते थे, इतना गंदा फीलिंग आता है कि उस वक्त आप कुछ कर भी नहीं पाते हो, आप क्या कर पाओगे, आप यू आर अ किड, आपको इतना नॉलेज भी नहीं होता है, तो हम क्या करते हैं, बस ब्लॉक कर देते हैं।
जैसे कि जो नंबर प्रोवाइड्स होते हैं गवर्नमेंट्स की तरफ से, हमें पुलिस की तरफ से, कि आप सेफ्टी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से वुमेन के, तो वो मेरे पास नंबर है और कहीं ना कहीं माइंड में भी हमें रिलीफ रहता है कि चलो हमारे पास एक सेफ्टी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से एक नंबर है जिसको हम कभी भी कॉल कर सकते हैं, अप्रोच कर सकते हैं अपनी प्रॉब्लम शेयर करने के लिए, तो वो मैं एनी टाइम अपने पास सकती हूँ।
I think what people have to think about is like today it's you. The same thing's probably already happening to a lot of other people, will probably happen to a lot of other people as well. So if everyone just keeps quiet, there's not going to be any stop to this. So I think every time we report someone, or the chances of that happening to the next person like significantly keeps reducing every time it happens.
We need to educate and empower ourselves with means to fight harassment on the phone, online and in person. The TrueCyberSafe curriculum is an awareness program that focuses upon improving netizens' resilience and capacity to access the digital world safely. It is about increasing awareness on cyber frauds and its impact on communities.
That's right. So learn how to tackle harassment by taking the TrueCyberSafe curriculum on itsnotok.in. To report harassment, you already know the numbers. Dial 112 or 181 or log on to cybercrime.gov.in. Let me now invite Yogita Bhayana from PARI to talk about the importance of calling out harassment, because as we've been saying, it's simply not okay. Yogita, good to have you on the show. When it comes to harassment faced by women on the phone, online and offline, can a victim directly contact PARI? Can you tell us how PARI helps women fight harassment?
So at PARI we run a helpline number, so it is available everywhere and on our social media platforms, also on our website, and people usually know now because we have a volunteer base of 1,000 plus people all across India. So we are reached out through our helpline number or through social media. So yes, it is very difficult to cater to all the kind of complaints which come to us, but we try to guide them, we kind to motivate them, try to tell the women with which confidence she has to go to the police station, which number she has to dial, and we are there for her.
Yogita, since this is about a joint effort, tell us how can all the stakeholders come together to ensure women feel safe, particularly in this fight against harassment. In fact, how can we move ahead in this fight in the right direction, where every woman understands it's not okay to face harassment and to tolerate harassment?
All the stakeholders, we have to address them differently. Women, first thing, every time in whichever interview I have spoken and wherever I have spoken, I encourage women to speak up. The more women speak up, the more we can address this issue. And give them confidence, give them knowledge, where to reach, how to go about it, and do not feel shy. So give them that motivation that PARI has been doing for many, many years. We've been doing a lot of campaigns and awareness workshops for women. But now, unique thing which we have started, let's reach out to the criminal. Let's reach out to the right audience, which is men, or you can say the guy in this case who's harassing the women. So we have started a campaign called We Men. So we need to start. So in PARI, we have started reaching out to these nookers, and where the boys, they group together and then they get courage. You know, we reach out to that nooker, we try to sensitize them and involve them in the sense of in controlling the crime, in the sense changing their mindset. So I think it's a high time we need to talk to the right audience, which is men. So in PARI, we are focusing there also. Now coming to the third stakeholder, which is system, like police, the politicians, the policymakers. We need to give it very, very big push, and we need to kind of create awareness in them also that this is a serious crime. And rest, of course, everywhere in judiciary, making stricter laws which are already existing, executing it, taking it more seriously. These are the things we can do. And again, involvement of media houses like you to kind of take this up.
Thank you, Yogita, for joining us and sharing your thoughts. It's important to ensure that we give safe spaces to women.
Now, when it comes to harassment, everyone should be aware of the right legal recourse available to them. Let us now invite noted lawyer Aaliya Waziri to share her insights on the topic. Aaliya, good to have you on the show. Good to see you. Do you think the current laws are enough to handle the different kinds of harassment that are currently being faced by women in the digital space and on the phone? And if not, then what would you recommend be the changes?
Hi Shreya, thank you for having me on this panel. I can tell you that there's section 67 of the IT Act. I can tell you that the IPC, which is the Indian Penal Code, has intent to outrage the modesty of women. There are several of these specific acts, specific sections in legislations that correspond to what we call cyber harassment. But there is no specific legislation that provides for cyberbullying laws in India. Yes, IT Act has been remodeled or provisions have been created, 67 of the Information Technology Act. But what we need is a targeted legislation that effectively tackles this issue. And why I say this is because the evolving terrain of digital technology will require modifications and an active approach to work within this evolving terrain and find solutions.
And Aaliya, what kind of proof is needed to file a complaint? Are screenshots enough?
Are screenshots enough? So I can't answer this question in isolation. I will say two things before I answer this question. Please acquaint yourself with the central government website, which is about ways to report cybercrime. If you are living in Delhi and you are watching this, please go and look at the Delhi government, the Delhi police cybercrime portal. It is excellent. It is so exhaustive. There is a list of social media crimes. If you have, let's say, friend request bullying, or you were a victim of phishing scam, pornography, child pornography, please look at this portal. You can, before I come to answer your question, you can also report anonymously, given that you have information. Now, what constitutes information? Every incident, every circumstance that you are reporting will have a different requirement. If it's an email scam, then you will have to have a screenshot of the email that was sent to you, the header, so on and so forth. If it's a social media scam, then yes, screenshots are very helpful. I cannot say screenshots are all that is required, because it will depend on the circumstances of your situation. Sorry, circumstances of the crime.
Aaliya, because there are a number of women who want to understand the entire process, could you share with our viewers what will happen after the complaint has been filed? Does one need to consult a lawyer as well?
Maria, do you need to consult a lawyer is a question that the person concerned has to answer. If you choose to, let's say, report your cyber harassment, cyber crime via these two portals, one by the Delhi government and one by the central government, then you will get an email. You should ideally get an email within a few days. Let's say you have not received an email within a week, and the reason I said in the beginning, it will depend on the nature of your circumstances. Let's say there's a threat to your life and limb, then of course you will have to first go to the police. They will help you. If for some reason that does not work out, you may reach out to the Deputy Superintendent of Police, anybody who is higher than the rank of an SHO. If for some reason, that's again a very far-fetched situation, if that does not happen, then I recommend that you hire a lawyer, because at some point you need to hire a professional. You need to seek help from a professional who will help you to go forth.
Aaliya, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you very much. So you can learn how to tackle harassment by taking the TrueCyberSafe curriculum on itsnotok.in. Let me repeat that. Itsnotok.in. And to report harassment, you already know the numbers. You can dial 112 or 181 or simply log on to cybercrime.gov.in.
Call it out, come together, be courageous, be bold. And also when you talk about online communication, use Truecaller, obviously, but block and report, because it's a community-driven application. The more you block it, the more context other women have.
Watch the conclusion of the Women's Day special Streamathon in the next episode.